It's Lokazi casting for you MLG Columbus, lower bracket, round 8, EGIdrA versus Slush, game 2. EGIdrA took the first game in convincing fashion with 3 banelings blowing up about 16 to 18 supply worth of Slush's units. It was like 6 banelings and like at least 15 to 16 Zerglings. It was insane with just 3 banelings. At EGIdRA's natural, Slush had taken a big risk and gone for the gold. It was on Metalopolis. He had taken a big risk and gone for the gold, literally gold base out in the middle, and actually had secured it and fended off EGIdRA, but it did not avail him anything at all, I guess I should say, because he lost all of those units to just 3 banelings, and it was so painful because he was so far ahead. Had he just microed forward 2 banelings and busted those 3 banelings, it would have been easily in his hands. So Slush has to be a little bit frustrated from that. EGIdRA was probably a little frustrated as he just came off of his loss against MMA, where he was 4 barracks after a 2 barracks pressure, which is EGIdRA's least favorite thing in the world, as he says it's really hard to know what a Terran is doing behind those 2 barracks, that 2 barracks pressure. And EGIdRA spawned up here in the top left-hand corner as the red Zerg on Typhon Peaks. This is like 3 minutes late, but anyway, and ROOTslush as the blue Zerg in the bottom right-hand corner here on Typhon Peaks. And MLG Typhon Peaks I don't think is any different besides these little supply depots, which disallow, I should say, pylons blocking the ramp or barracks is blocking the bottom of the ramp without knocking these down, which take not a long time, but a little bit of time. And that's what they're there for. They have a building armor and 400 HP, so it takes quite a few hits to take those down. And EGIdRA starting up with his gas before Slush, so it looks like he's going to be going for maybe his normal Zerg V Zerg build, which is Speedling Fast Expand. Queen starting up for EGIdRA here. His pool finishes a little bit after ROOTslush's. But ROOTslush building in this little wall here, and this is mostly for banelings and Zerglings not being able to get into the base. What you want to do is you want to make like this little Sim City with your spawning pool, spine crawler, and it allows banelings, if they're coming in, to actually be poked at by the spine crawler before they can get into the mineral line, which is why it's designed or placed this way. EGIdRA in a similar type of situation, he placed his spawning pool right here because it doesn't allow Zerglings to get out easily. So if he places another building, say here, and another building here, it's like a trap. If you go in it's a trap. If you go in with Zerglings, they actually can't get out. They have to run through this gap back here, this gap, or the way they came in over here. EGIdRA picking up his expansion, ROOTslush not opting to get one, and EGIdRA actually scouted over here, it looks like, and sees that no expansion has gone down. So now he is scouting around the map, taking lessons from the last game where Slush went across a base to go ahead and pick up the gold. EGIdRA dropping a Roach Warren here. Looks like it's going to be his selected weapon of choice here at the early game. He has to assume some type of tech or Zergling Baneling all in off of this one base. So really the options. And by tech I mean like roaches with +1 and speed, or something of that manner that is kind of powerful. And I'm not really sure it works at the higher levels of play. I know it works in Diamond and Master League, but I don't know about Grandmaster. And it looks like these 2 queens are going to hold strong at the ramp and tickle those Zerglings away. And now these Zerglings are going to come up and take the place of the queen. And the Spinecrawler is going to be able to poke at any Zerglings attacking the top of this ramp. Meantime, ROOTslush did go for the tech off of one base, and he is morphing his lair. EGIdRA pumping out some roaches here. And interesting to know, I actually saw Slush get a lot of pressure on him last night while watching Mr. Bitter's stream. He was streaming Binksky versus ROOTslush, and Binksky I think is a member of XI Gaming. I know he practices sometimes with XO. Good player. I actually have a live cast of me casting him and Trimaster at the Texas Esports Tournament down here. Ooh, actually, Creep Tumor getting picked off there. That kind of stinks. A live recast of them at the Texas Esports tournament down here in Austin on April 24th. So check that out. I think he's a great player. And anyway, segueing back, or I guess coming back on topic from the segue, ROOTslush did a one base build and he picked up Infestors, which is what it looks like he is doing here. And it was really, really interesting to watch the Infestor play. It can be really powerful, but without roaches, it's really, really hard to do, as Zerglings just die really fast. And when you're running off one base, you don't have the larva to support the number of Zerglings needed to take on roaches, so it can be pretty rough. Now, what ROOTslush is doing right now is he's trying to keep EGIdrA in his base using the speed of these Zerglings, because he knows if EGIdrA walks over to his base, he's going to be able to kill everything with relative ease. So that's why he's trying to run around here and keep these roaches on the move and trying to get these Zerglings surrounded and killed off to limit the ability of EGIdrA to move out of his base. But it looks like EGIdrA has had enough of those shenanigans, and he's going to move across the map with his roaches. Looks like he has just about enough Zerglings to hold off Slush's Zerglings. There's only 5 Zergling differential, and any type of there we go. The resupply is going to make that pretty even. So Slush sees these roaches coming. He's got to know, I need to get really excellent fungals here, and it looks like the roaches are bunched up for him very nicely, and a big fungal going off on every single one of the roaches, and then using all the energy of the other roach actually to spit out infested Terrans, which I'm not sure is the best idea. Infested Terrans do a lot of damage, but they don't have very much HP. A second fungal actually probably would have helped him better there. And a third, and it's also spitting out infested Terran. He has pathogen glands. I think he would have been better off with the 2 fungals there instead of the infested Terrans. They were equal on drones, and EGIdrA was ahead on a queen because one of the queens died out here in the front. But other than that, it was pretty even had Slush been able to hold off these roaches. There were a bunch of Zergling reinforcements that were streaming across the map, just in little spurts here. And there are quite a few Zerglings right here, but all in all, like, one more Infestor could have fungled all those Zerglings and they would have all died. So, pretty close game. I'm not sure I agree with the Infested Terran instead of fungal choice. I think that's what cost Slush the game. But an interesting one-base strategy nonetheless. I might actually have to try it out. It looks like it would be pretty interesting. But regardless, EGIdrA taking Game 2 versus ROOTslush in the MLG Columbus lower bracket, round of 8, which means he will be advancing to fight whoever wins OGS MC versus Dignitas Naniwa. So we will see who advances there. Either way, guaranteed to be a epic Z versus P in that matchup. So I'll catch you guys in a few minutes there. I will be casting them. They will be up on my YouTube, live stream, Justin TV, Twitch TV, all Lokazi. Any of those, and put Lokazi behind it and you'll find me. Go ahead and subscribe and like and follow on all of those if you would be so kind and would like to see me continuing casting. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys with those games coming up in a few minutes.